Hi, my name is Jeremy, and I'm running for VP Operations and Finance, and I'm running as a part of the People's Voice.
My name is Brian Schwan. I'm running for the Vice President Operations and Finance position.
I look at it as a people role. There's a lot of Fed services that are managed by the VP Operations and Finance, and there's a lot of different people that report to the VP Operations and Finance. So for me, it's making sure those people are happy and can function and do their job as best as they can to ensure that the services that they run are the most effective for students.
The role itself is looking at the operations of Feds internally, and then also looking at the commercial services that Federation of Students offers. So that includes the campus bubble, the bomb shelter pub, international news, and the used bookstore in the basement, and overseeing all of the leases within the SLC to ensure that they're efficient and effective services that students want on campus. And it's also ensuring that efficiencies within the organization are being met. And at the end of the day, it's always voicing the student's opinion. I think I have a lot of various qualifications. Historically, going back to a lot of my work experience, it's been a lot of volunteer management and people management positions. Within the VPOF role, you have a lot of oversight of staff in different departments within Feds. And so really understanding kind of the organizational buy-in and ensuring that your staff are bought into your overall plan helps ensure that you can deliver the most efficient service to students. And additionally, through my volunteer experience across campus, I've been involved in Orientation Week as the 2014 AHS FOC. I've also been involved with a warrior tribe. In addition, I've been an AHS ambassador. I've volunteered at many different events on campus. So I really bring a lot of various experiences and connections across campus to ensure that voices are heard, but also to have these connections that can help break down the red tape and talk to the right people to ensure that students' needs are met.
I'm a fifth-year student. I'm in Arts and Business Co-op, and I'm majoring in Peace and Conflict Studies and minoring in Speech Communication. Part of my platform and my voice is I really want to make sure that people have their say, and people hear what's going on campus. And I think finance and transparency in finance is what is most important. I guess what makes me qualified is my communications background. I've run a club on campus for the last 4 years. It's Hillel Waterloo, and I've also, because I'm a part business student, I've been involved with startups, and I've also worked for Canadian Tire as well. So I've got that background in the business world as well. So there's a couple things that creatively I'd like to try and implement. The Bomber runs on a razor-thin budget. Part of what makes a business run is people and people in the Bomber, because I think a vibrant student bar on campus can really help to create community. My idea is to bring specials to off-peak times to really help bring in more students, and this also will help to bring more club space to campus, because we've got cheaper food in the Bomber or cheaper things going on in the Bomber. Clubs can use it for their events and stuff like that.
I think visibility is a really important thing because the VPOF role is a lot of behind the scenes work. It's really important to stay visible to the students, whether that may be walking around campus, socializing with students in the libraries when they're in group study or in cafes around campus, and just talking about what Feds is doing, maybe getting more interest in student politics and making it more attractable for students. And also you can hear their complaints, because a lot of students' complaints, they can be easy fixes, or they have really good insight that if you don't have those conversations with them, they might not necessarily have the chance to voice them because they don't know who to go to. So really putting myself out there and ensuring that I'm representing the organization and kind of having that open line of communication with students by traveling around campus and ensuring that I'm open for discussion. The biggest challenge, I think, is gaining a collective voice of students and ensuring that each decision that you make is representative of the student body, and ensuring that the service that Feds is providing is something that every single decision is thought about.
So I think the biggest challenge is something that I want to work on is if the SLC PAC expansion goes through, right now $24 million is coming from student fees at about $18 a year once the building is built. I want to see if we can find a way to add in some more sponsorship to lower the cost for students and therefore make it more from other students, because the student space, though it's for students, shouldn't only be majority paid for by students. We go to the university, they're supposed to also have some of our interests in mind. So that seems like a really systemic issue. I guess we'll have to really critically examine what returns we're getting on that increase in office space. If we're increasing office space, are we also increasing our ability to serve students? And is it really effective, this increase in office space? And what can we really do? I don't want to make promises I can't keep, but I want to look into how we can ensure that FEDS, which is the student union for students, is actually serving the students that we're supposed to serve.
Right now, thinking long term, hopefully that the new building referendum does pass. That alone within 2 or 3 years, when it opens, that will give more space to students. And as well, through listening what students' needs are and where space can be made on campus, and advocating the university, because this building is only so big that maybe this isn't the central issue. It could be advocating the university to open up more space across campus for students, but also coming in internally and analyzing what services we currently have being housed in the SLC, and ensuring that they're providing the most effective service to students with the most efficient space possible is really important within the VPOF role. That might not just mean meeting lease requirements or paying their lease month by month, but ensuring that each space is used to the most optimal potential that it does have. It's a really hard balancing act to ensure that everything is kind of in line and straight as an arrow and communicating that information to students, but it's one that I think that I can definitely take on. I would say 100%. I'm really big on transparency in every role that I've had on campus. I really enjoy discussions and open lines of communication, because an idea that I may have or that FEDS may have, and somebody's opinion that might not agree with it, brings a different perspective and allows us to ensure that all areas have been thought of, and then also that discussion is open so that decisions are pretty clear to students.
I want to make sure that Imprint has a strong role on campus and with FEDS, because as we see, students love it, students read it, and for me to kind of have that open line of communication, I think is really important, because that'll keep me accountable for what I'm doing and help to ensure that both the promises and the things that I do on campus are seen by everyone. If I make a mistake, I want people to know about it. If I do something good, I want people to know about it, to make sure that they feel like they're seeing and they're transparent in what we're doing.